as illegal immigrant detained and tested. Construction of new recreation park in Pine Gardens underway, and the National Security Advisor speaks on the reduction of gun violence in the Federation. The details on these stories and more after the break.
Without limits, happy and free. The skin you're in with no apology. The one to seize the day. Grab an LLB. Live, love, be. With LLB. Live, love, be. Live, love, be. Be who you know you can be. Grab an LLB. Live, love, be. Angostura, lemon, lime and bitters. Live, love, be.
Trustworthy, secure, reliable and responsive. These are just some of the words customers use to describe their experience with the Bank of Nevis Limited. And after 35 years of delivering excellent customer service and honoring our corporate social responsibilities in the island of Nevis, we are finally coming to St. Kitts. Come and experience why we're not just another option. We are the standard. Bond strong.
Look at you. No braces, all the internet you can handle. I wasn't so lucky.
Invis is not your parents' braces. Invis is predictable, less painful, more comfortable. Invisalign.
Visit Dr. Blake's General Dentistry and Orthodontics located on South Independence Square Street for your free Invisalign consultation. Call 466-7622 for your appointments.
Are you looking for today's best architectural designs, appraisals, estimates, or even project management? Then look no further than Trevor Freights and Associates. Our designs are amazing. You'll be so satisfied with your work, you will tell others all about us. Visit trevorfreights.com today. Located at New Road on St. Kitts, with over 20 years in the industry, we strive to provide the utmost superior quality of service to all our valued customers. Call our expert staff at 465-8184 or 662-5184 and see what we can do for you. That's Trevor, FRAITES.com. You decide, we design.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Kyla Berridge. An illegal immigrant who entered the country on Tuesday morning has been captured, the police have said. According to a police statement, he was captured on Thursday morning after being located in the Buckley's area and has been placed in quarantine. It further stated that he has been tested for COVID-19, but his name will not be released until he has been charged. Police notified the country of his arrival on Wednesday afternoon at the weekly NEOC briefing and asked for the public's assistance. According to Cromwell Henry, Divisional Commander for District A, the immigrant entered the Limekiln Bay on a fishing vessel and disembarked with a suitcase, according to reports received. The vessel and individual reportedly arrived from Antigua. We'll have more information on this developing story as it becomes available. A plot of land in the Pine Gardens area of Shadwell is being cleared to facilitate the construction of a kids park and community recreational space. On Thursday, constituency representative for Central Bastyr, Honorable Jonell Powell, gave his vision for what the completed project would look like.
For now, the first phase is to get it grass and to get it green. That is the first thing. And then, in consultation with the residents, we'll figure it out in terms of exact placement. So I can just envisage a gazebo somewhere around this area. Like I said, people can just go and relax. They could go and plait here and braid here and there. Like I said, play dominoes and cards in a sheltered area. Benches, maybe we get some trees and flowers in here for shade. And like I said, down here we could have some swings and other play equipment for the kids. The work so far is being done by Ms. Karen Hodge of KNG Trucking. Once that is done, we're going to work with them to start the sort of level it off a bit, do what needs to be done in terms of grassing it, and once that phase is finished, we work with the residents.
Residents will be notified and included in the construction phase, as the MP says that he hopes for community involvement and ownership.
Residents in terms of the benches and all these little things, and really get them involved, because it's for them. It is for them, and we want them to be involved in the process. I want them to have that sense of ownership, that sense of pride in their community park.
Minister Powell did not give a definite timeline for the project and said that donations and contributions from persons or entities are being sought to keep costs at a minimum. Meanwhile, ZIZ News spoke with Karen Hodge, owner of KNG Trucking, who gave an overview of the work completed so far.
We came here this morning about 7 o'clock started. There was a lot of bush and trees, cashew trees, so we had to dig out the root of the cashew trees so that they don't grow again, and then we truck the debris that we get over to Connery and then come back here and just do a little excavation with the little mini excavate.
Hodge noted that she is improving herself by learning to operate machinery and make her mark in a male-dominant field. National Security Advisor retired Major General Stuart Saunders says St. Kitts and Nevis has come a long way with the reduction in gun violence since March 13, 2019. He made the comment during Tuesday's edition of Leadership Matters, noting the spin-off effects of the reduction in gun-related crimes.
Since March 13, 2019, we have come a long way. The Federation has continued to experience marked reductions in homicides by the gun and shootings. Citizens continue to enjoy the ability to move about freely with little or no fear of experiencing acts of extreme violence. Establishments continue to report a better environment in which to do business.
He attributed much of this success to the Alternative Lifestyle Pathway program, which began on the 13th of March 2019, while saying that this program originated as a result of the surges in crime in September of 2018, resulting in the launch of Operation Ensuring Safety and New Dawn by the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force.
The positive impacts of those operations and the events of February 2019, which resulted in an unprecedented number of homicides in a 2-week period, was followed by requests being made to the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force by the warring factions at the time to assist them in resolving their issues.
Currently, the police force is in the process of rolling out Phase 3 of the Alternative Lifestyle Pathway program, which is the life skills training and exposure program. As the nation's roll-up to roll-out vaccination campaign continues, we now take a look at the latest vaccination report. After the break, Shama marriages to be investigated, and new police recruits to learn Spanish in Police Training Course 45. Stay with us.
Want to get away? Now you can.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your national bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag specials from April 26th through May 2nd. West Noyes, $9.99 each. Essential Everyday or IGA canned fruit, $6.99. Essential Everyday salad dressings, $6.99. IGA or Essential Everyday popcorn, 3-pack, $4.95. Yoplait yogurt, $3.39. Eggo waffles, $11.99. And now our very low weekly value deals. Essential Everyday spiral and shelf, $1.79. Langer's apple juice, $6.99. Kellogg's cereal, $9.99. Hunt's spaghetti sauces, $4.99. Stone Ridge ice cream, $16.99. Arm & Hammer laundry detergent, just $14.99. Shop smart, shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Flow Broadband and TV is packed with even more value as you get a free Samsung tablet, free installation, and 50% off your bill for 3 months when you sign up now. Yes, a free Samsung tablet. Power all you do at home with up to 100 megabits per second super fast broadband. Plus, stay HD entertained with Flow TV. Stream, share, and do more on your new free tablet, which will also keep you connected on the go with ease. Sign up at a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Welcome back. Marriages of convenience or sham marriages are being investigated by the Department of Immigration in St. Kitts and Nevis. Sham marriages are commonly done by persons seeking citizenship of another country or to gain advantage in some way. On Tuesday's edition of Leadership Matters, Chief Immigration Officer Mercelyn Hughes noted that the practice is one of the areas that will be addressed through legislation.
So these are some of the things that we're looking at in terms of the Immigration Act to be reviewed and for amendments to the Immigration Act. Those are some of the recommendations that we wish to make so that when these situations occur, that we will have teeth, we will have the grounds to stand on to investigate. And that is why we are pursuing this unit that we speak to, so that this will be a part of their mandate when we get the Act amended to be able to deal with such matters.
The Enforcement Unit of the Immigration Department will help to investigate these matters once the amendments are passed in the National Assembly. The Chief Immigration Officer revealed that members in the Enforcement Unit are conducting regular checks to manage the large number of persons who overstayed their time in the country or who are working without the relevant approvals. Members of the public are encouraged to share information with the department on suspicious activities. The St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force is diversifying its police training with the addition of learning the Spanish language to training course number 45, which began on Monday. During ZIZ Radio's program Policing with You on Thursday, Commandant of the Police Training School, Inspector Shauna Francis Edwards, said that the force has recognized that there is a large Spanish-speaking community in St. Kitts and Nevis, and it is important to be able to communicate effectively with them.
We decided that we were going to bring Spanish on board because we realized that we do have a lot of persons in St. Kitts who are not Kittitians, and a lot of them belong to the Spanish-speaking countries, such as Santo Domingo. And we really need to be able to communicate with them in their time of distress, and also if we have to enforce the law. So to communicate with them, we decide we're going to bring conversational Spanish on board so that we can all speak the same language when it comes to the Spanish-speaking community.
Sergeant Trevon Richards praised the initiative, noting that it would help to address the concerns of the Spanish-speaking community in St. Kitts and Nevis.
That's an excellent initiative. Again, it goes to the fact that you see the police are not xenophobic, but we've diversified to include these nationals. And GQ, the reality is we have a growing population of Hispanics, Spanish nationals, and so you need to be able to address their concerns if they come to make a report to the police. So that is quite an initiative, Inspector. I am happy for that.
The 6-month-long training course will also cover basic police subjects, including criminal law, evidence and procedure, and general duties. The sessions will also involve physical training, hand and arms drills, weapon training, and community policing. Fisherfolk in St. Kitts were the beneficiaries of a maritime radio handling and sea training session as part of the Food and Agricultural Organization's CC4Fish project this week. The project was held in collaboration with the SKN Defense Force Coast Guard at the Sandy Point Community Center on Monday and Tuesday, and at the Department of Marine Resources on Wednesday and Thursday. The objective of the Climate Change Adaptation in the Eastern Caribbean Fisheries Sector CC4Fish project is to increase resilience and reduce vulnerability to climate change impacts in the Eastern Caribbean fisheries sector through the introduction of adaptation measures such as training of fisherfolk and aquaculturists and mainstreaming of climate change into fisheries governance. During the training, demonstrations were shown and exercises were conducted to equip fishing vessel operators with the knowledge and skills needed in case of an emergency while at sea. The session wrapped up with the distribution of certificates, VHF radios, and poles to fisherfolk. Another series of training took place at the Department of Marine Resources on Thursday evening. And finally, on the local scene, the St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Committee is inviting the public to take part in the slogan competition for the 50th anniversary of St. Kitts and Nevis Carnival. According to a press statement, the chair of the National Carnival Committee, Shannon Hawley, said the search for an appropriate slogan has taken on added importance this year, and said that her team is in search of the most catchy and creative promotional signature line that would help to capture the essence of what Sugarmass 50 is expected to represent. Hawley also pointed out that this year the slogan must not be longer than 10 syllables to ensure that it is easily remembered. All entries are to be submitted to info@skncarnival.com no later than Saturday, 5th June. The winner will receive a cash prize of EC $500. The new slogan will be used for most of the marketing and promotional activities that will be planned for the milestone achievement of 50 years of Sugarmass. Coming up in regional news, marijuana found in prison officers training school. The details when we come back.
Everything's gotta go! Horsford's Automotive, everything gotta go! Clearance sale is happening now! All 2018, 2019, and 2020 models gotta go! Yes! Come to Horsford's Automotive and get $10,000 off select 2020 models! That's right! Horsford's Automotive is making room for 2021 by offering $10,000 off select 2020 models! And that's not all! Come now and get 0% down payment! No payment until May 2021! $500 in free groceries, free servicing for 1 year, free bill of sale, free tinting, free registration, free accessories, and free licensing. Horsford's Automotive, everything gotta go clearance sale. The biggest clearance sale event of the year. Select 2020 vehicles, price to go. Everything gotta go. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
This month, make it all about her with a gift from Courts. Shop today and enjoy up to 30% off selected rugs, accessories, and more. Get the most stylish appliances, home furnishings, and more. Plus, shop today with Ready Finance and we'll pay your first and last installment. You can also shop online at www.shopcourts.com for the same great savings. So make it all about her with something special from Courts. Courts, bringing value home.
And we're moving now to news on the regional scene. A quantity of marijuana has been found in the training school of prison officers in Guyana, and the police are looking at a case of collusion. Kendall Richmond reports.
Police have been called in to investigate yet another possible case of collusion between prison officers and inmates after the discovery of 290 grams of marijuana found in plain sight of prison authorities. Nightly News has been informed that police and the hierarchy of the Lusignan prison received a tip-off that a quantity of marijuana had been placed on a heavy-duty roller at the Cecil Kilkenny Training School Lusignan prison on the east coast of Demerara. The heavy-duty roller was parked on the tarmac of the prison. The parcels were checked, where it was observed 2 of the parcels to be seeds, leaves and stems suspected to be cannabis, and other parcel to be smoking papers, prison authorities confirmed. Nightly News learned on Tuesday that detectives will be reviewing CCTV footage and will be questioning several prison officers who worked the shift at the time of the discovery of the drugs. A prison source told Nightly News on Tuesday that the case of collusion between prison officers and inmates, reported and unreported, happens in some way or the other daily, a situation that's worsening. Police believe that the marijuana was placed there to be smuggled into the prison. The Cecil Kilkenny Prison Officers Training School at Lusignan Prison Compound, East Coast, Demerara, was declared open by former Home Affairs Minister Clement Roy in 2012. The training school is intended to modernize the prison service trained officers in all aspects of the job. For the HEP Nightly News, Kendall Richmond.
Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, has defended the government's role in acquiring COVID-19 vaccines. He said the government is not behind with the vaccination program. The Prime Minister also refuted the public opinion that Tobago caused the current spike. Karen Cozier-Phillip of TTT News reports.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says government has been talking to Pfizer, AstraZeneca and Sinopharm, all of them producers of the COVID-19 vaccine. He says, however, reaching out to the authorized suppliers doesn't mean that government will get the vaccines. The Prime Minister says none of his colleagues in CARICOM have been able to go out to the marketplace and buy a single vaccine because it's not available. He says because Trinidad and Tobago's COVID-19 situation was not as bad as others in the past few months, it may have worked against us in determining which country needed vaccines via the COVAX facility first.
None of us, not one of my colleagues in CARICOM, has been able to go out to the marketplace and buy a single vaccine because it's not available. So all the pages written and the demands of vaccinate the population with what? When the vaccines are available in the international community for us to buy, to obtain, to negotiate, we are there and we are doing as good as anybody else in the region and much better than many people in the world.
On the topic of vaccine hesitancy by the population, the Prime Minister says he too has concerns about the vaccines as they were developed in response to a pandemic in a relatively short time for emergency use. He says the alternative would have been to wait for 4 or 5 years while the vaccine was being proven to be beyond any objection, or to use it now and get the benefit.
We have been talking to Pfizer, we have been talking to AstraZeneca, we have been talking to Sinopharm producers, but all of these, the authorized suppliers, you going out doesn't mean I'm going to get vaccines. You can only get it if it's out there. What I'm trying to say over and over and over and over, that you go out there.
Another vaccine provider being looked at by the government is Cuba. Dr. Rowley says as soon as that vaccine gets WHO approval, government would be in line to use it. The Prime Minister is also reiterating that Tobago is not to blame for the increase in COVID-19 cases seen in April and May. Dr. Rowley says although it was stated by Transport Minister Ruhan Sinanan that 50,000 people travelled between Trinidad and Tobago during a 7-day period for Easter, the figure was not significantly more than an average travel between the two islands. Karen Cozier-Phillip, TTT News.
Coming up, Israel snubs condemnation. We'll tell you more when we come back.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy a life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Welcome back. Israel says it will continue its aerial bombardment of Gaza, ignoring international calls for calm and a rapidly climbing death toll. A total of 87 Palestinians, including 17 children and at least 7 people in Israel, have now been killed since Monday. More in this report.
Gaza skyline early on Thursday. A new wave of Israeli airstrikes has targeted the Hamas police academy, among other facilities that Israel says are being used to launch missile attacks on its cities. The Israeli bombardment has so far killed dozens of Palestinians. Israel says Hamas has fired up to 1,500 rockets into its territory over the past 3 days, killing several people. Sirens were heard in northern Israel and elsewhere, warning of more Hamas missiles. Israel's Iron Dome defense system was seen in action over the border with the Gaza Strip to intercept Palestinian rockets. Incoming international flights to Ben Gurion Airport near Tel Aviv were diverted to the southern airport of Ramon. That too came under attack, although Israel says the rockets fell short. But in Gaza and the West Bank, Palestinians celebrated Eid al-Fitr festival, marking the end of the holy month of Ramadan, despite the bombings and uncertainty.
Thank God, all is good, but it's a sad situation because some people can feel happy and others, God help them.
It's hard for people in Gaza, West Bank and elsewhere in the world to watch what is going on Al-Aqsa and keep silent. I hope it will be good for all.
I will celebrate Eid. I borrowed money to buy new clothes for my son in order to challenge the situation and celebrate Eid. I want to make my son happy during Eid, and I hope next Eid I will take him to pray in Al-Aqsa Mosque and chant God the Greatest.
Hundreds gathered at Al-Aqsa compound early morning for Eid prayers. Days earlier, it was a scene of unprecedented raids by Israeli forces that prompted the worst violence in years. Palestinians say those incidents meant Israel had crossed what they describe as a red line. As the Israeli airstrikes and the Hamas rocket attacks continue, there are no signs of either side agreeing to a truce. Israel has called up thousands of reservists and is massing troops near the border with Gaza in what's feared to be a preparation for a land invasion. Mohammed Val, Al Jazeera.
Thousands of health workers took to the streets of Argentina's capital, Buenos Aires, to mark International Nurses Day. Nurses and health workers are demanding better wages and recognition for their work, especially in the midst of the pandemic. Argentina is battling an economic crisis and the pandemic that has left more than 10,000 people dead in the past month. Al Jazeera's Teresa Bo reports.
Torches illuminated the center of Buenos Aires on Wednesday. They were carried by nurses from Argentina's capital to demand better salaries. Lorena Diaz says public healthcare workers are exhausted and underpaid.
In my hospital, there are COVID patients on every floor. We have friends that got sick. Our salary leaves us below the poverty line. We have to work in several hospitals to make ends meet.
Healthcare workers are also victims of the economic crisis in Argentina that's been exacerbated by the pandemic. Purchasing power has been weakened by the double-digit inflation rate that's been haunting Argentina for years. But in this hospital in Moreno, outside the capital, the situation is even worse. Nurses say they haven't been paid in 6 months.
Hospitals and health centers like this one in Argentina have been struggling to cope with the rise of COVID-19 infections. Doctors and nurses say that they've been working non-stop since the pandemic began and that they were summoned by the government to deal with a national emergency. Until now, they've never been paid.
Soledad Bernal says they're desperate and that's why they started protesting outside the hospital.
All of us continue to work even though we are not paid. We are all work with COVID patients. We lack basic items like syringes, but we are here trying to care for our patients. We don't know when we are going to get paid.
There's about 120 people in a similar situation at the hospital. Some of them are about to be evicted from their homes because they're unable to pay rent. Labor unions are distributing food to those struggling to make ends meet.
Most of the ones working here are women, and we are vulnerable over how we are treated. We are helping patients, but also our families, and we do all this without a salary. Many are afraid to speak out because they are afraid to lose their jobs, even though they're not paid.
Argentina is battling an economic crisis and a pandemic that has left more than 10,000 people dead in the past month. The government has shut down schools and imposed a curfew to contain the spread of infections. But for more than a year, hospital workers have provided the front line against COVID-19. And they say that if they are to carry on effectively, they need better wages. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
Up next in sports, we have an SKNFA update, and Kenya is preparing for the Olympics in a pandemic. Stay with us.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy a life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
I took the vaccine because I want the in-person audience experience at Sugar Mass 50.
I took the vaccine because I want to be performing with all my peoples on Ultra Truck this year for Carnival.
I get vaccinated because I want to be on the road for Sugar Mass 50.
The reason I chose to be vaccinated because I'm a professional as an entertainer, for us to have a safer Boyton Carnival.
I am DJ Flames and I got vaccinated because I want Sugar Mass 50 to be greater than ever.
I took the vaccine because I miss entertaining thousands of people and I miss hosting my own events. See you at Sugar Mass 50. Boom.
Get vaccinated quickly to turn up Sugar Mass 50.
First up in sports, St. Peter's FC have advanced to the semi-final round of the FA Cup after defeating Connery FC on penalties on Tuesday at the Warner Park. Andre Huey has more.
It took penalty kicks to separate Sol Island Auto Supply's Connery FC from St. Peter's FC in the FA Cup quarterfinals on Tuesday at the Warner Park. Precise penalty kicks and a timely save by the St. Peter's goalkeeper ensured that the team from Monkey Hill, who were last year's finalists in the FA Cup, were one step closer to going back there after both teams were locked 1-1 at the end of regulation. Connery dominated most of the match with more shots on target and more possession. They made the breakthrough in the 77th minute with a goal from Wazim Howe from a deftly delivered ball in the danger area. But in the 89th minute, St. Peter sneaked away a goal in the faintest of touches from Kareem Simmons past Connery's goalkeeper Clifford Samuel. In the penalty shootout, all was going according to plan for both teams until Errol O'Loughlin became the unlikeliest of persons to miss his shot, stopped by the St. Peter's custodian. St. Peter's won 5-3 on penalties to win the match 6-4 and book their spot in the FA Cup semi-finals. Scoring for Connery in the penalty shootout, Kadeen Lewis, Niquan Phipps and Sean Martin. The goal scorer for St. Peter's, Deonis Stevens, Salas Connonier, Kareem Simmons, Macadon Gums and Kareem Harris. After the match, the commentary team of Al Edwards and Essington Watts provided analysis of St. Peter's penalty kick performance in the FA Cup live broadcast on the SKNFA Facebook page.
It was done in style. It was an exhibition of penalty kick taking.
Oh, I have to agree on that one because, as I was saying to the end of the game, consider Bully as a very good shot stopper, good penalty shot stopper, and they didn't give him a ghost of a chance at stopping many of those. And what do you know? The most experienced man in the Canary lineup missed.
The FA Cup quarterfinals continue on Wednesday when Hot Springs Bath United will face MFCR Old Road Jets at 6 p.m. and SL Horses St. Paul's, for the third time in 2 weeks, will face Flow 4G Cairn Rockets.
Kenya's 1500-meter world champion Timothy Chariot has been struggling to keep a consistent training schedule in a topsy-turvy year as he prepares for Tokyo. More in this report.
Running on a track
under the Nairobi sun. Kenya's top athletes train ahead of trials for the Tokyo Olympics. Among them is 1500-metre world champion Timothy Cheruiyot. He was one of the top contenders for an Olympic gold in Japan after winning the world title in Doha in 2019. But when the Games were postponed amid the COVID-19 pandemic, he had to adjust his way of working.
When we go to races, we normally go and there and train, but now you are going there and stay in the room. It's a bit challenging, yeah.
The team of around a dozen athletes is under the care of coach Bernard Uma. He checks in on Cheruiyot to see how his 3 younger siblings and parents who are farmers in Western Kenya are doing. Mostly, he wants to build his mental resilience.
You've seen how we were training. I said, I'm not interested in time, I just want to see effort. Why am I saying that? Because when you start putting time, meaning you've engaged them adequately.
The coach said Cheruiyot is yet to receive a COVID-19 vaccine, but is in the queue. The team live together and avoid seeing other people. They train on this track and one in Nairobi's National Park, home to lions, hyenas and rhinos.
We've zeroed our training within our vicinity. This is the track and into the national park. Luckily the animals don't have COVID, so that's what we interact with most of the time.
25-year-old Cheruiyot needs to qualify at next month's trials to make it to the Olympics. In 2016, he failed to qualify for the Rio Games after finishing 4th, a mere half a second from making the team.
And that's it for sports. When we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines.
The Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honourable Timothy Harris, wants to alert the public about fake Facebook and social media accounts that are circulating. These sites may look genuine, but they're not. These fake sites may use the Prime Minister's photo and name, but their only intention is to spread misinformation through false and scandalous information. Some of these pages are scams and will attempt to dupe you out of money. Do not trust them. You can find the real Prime Minister Harris on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram by searching for his official handle, which is @PMHarrisKN. Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages that claim to be the Prime Minister's but do not have PM Harris KN right after the // are fake accounts. These should be reported to the respective social media sites. You can also report fake social media accounts to presssec@gov.kn. That's PRESSEC@gov.kn. Facebook has verified Prime Minister Harris's official page by placing a white check mark inside a blue circle next to the Prime Minister's name, Dr. the Honourable Timothy Harris. This blue circle appears just above @PMHarrisKN. Also, be alert. If the person claiming to be either the Prime Minister or another government official asks you for money through instant messenger, direct message, or any other means, this is a scam and not a real charity. This public service announcement was produced in order to help you be an informed social media user. Protect yourself and help spread the message.
And we're wrapping up with a recap of the top stories. Illegal immigrant detained and tested. Construction of new recreational park in Pine Gardens underway. And the National Security Advisor speaks on the reduction of gun violence in the Federation. And that's the end of the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Berridge. Goodbye.